Today, I'm here to discuss my predicted lineup for our game tonight against Man City, as well as discussing all the latest involving Conor Gallagher's future at this football club. So my friends, I hope you guys like the video. I'm now starting to make sense of my environment. As you guys can see, like, the place is looking a lot more tidier. Spent a lot of time settling in, but I felt like, you know what, I can't properly work until my environment's on point. I'm just kind of OCD like that. So anyway, I'm back now. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into things. I want to start things off by discussing my predicted lineup. Tonight, I'm expecting us to see some rotation in the team. I'm expecting some players maybe to start from the bench today because, as we saw in the previous game against Club America, some players did pull up with a slight cramp. Hopefully, they're going to be better and fitter now to be in contention tonight. We've also spotted certain players, including Nico Jackson, Vega, Disasi and Carnes, doing separate training away from the first team. Now, could this be in relation to building their fitness up for maybe second half appearances, or are they still not ready yet to actually contribute too much in this game tonight? Time will tell, but I'm happy that Nico now is getting closer now to being fit, because I do feel like he could be that finishing piece in the team, and I'm looking forward to seeing his progression from last season and how he fits in under Maresca, because I think he could be a very good player for him. Now, ideally, a win against Man City would be quite nice, even though it's not necessarily the most important thing contextually. Man City aren't at their full strength. A lot of their players are still on holiday. They have been forced to use a lot of young players during this tour, and they haven't actually won a game of football just yet, even though they have played some entertaining games in pre-season. But equally at the same time, you think to yourself, could we get a small psychological edge for the main game, big game, for our opening game of the season against them? That could play a slight part. And if anything, it would be a massive boost for the players to continue their development under Maresca, their development understanding the system, and their confidence playing in the system too. So my friends, here's the lineup on screen that I'm going for. In goal, I've gone for Jorgensen. In defense, I've gone for Reece James, Fofana, Levi Cole, and Malo Gusto. In midfield, I've gone for Romeo Lavia again in the base. Either side of him, I've gone for Enzo Fernandez and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. And up front, I've gone for Nkunku on the left. I've gone for Gu up front, and I've gone for Madueke on that right-hand side. Now, I need to say this, I'm taking a massive gamble with my prediction, because honestly, I'm feeling like Nkunku will continue to play as the offensive 8 in the team. I think that's been his best position, his best role, and he's the most connected role in this team. But could we see some experimentation based on the fact that we have to like rotate the team a bit? I believe we could see something like this. And my thinking is, could Nkunku be tested on the left wing? Because Maresca has praised Nkunku for his versatility. He's mentioned the fact before that he is someone that he's very, very familiar with, really likes, and as I said, has praised him for his versatility and quality across many different positions. If you have a Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall who's able to make those wide overlaps to the left-hand side, technically, that could allow Nkunku to revert infield in those moments. Nkunku's a very smart and intelligent player. So that is my gamble in terms of what we could see from tonight. I'm really excited to see Nkunku against City today. I'm still thinking about that incredible mazy run he went on against Club America. I feel like that just really shows the confidence he's feeling in himself and his fitness right now. So it'll be interesting to see if Maresca does decide to start him from a different position. My thinking for this is that Maresca likes to have strong feet playing towards other strong feet, right? In the sense that if it's the left-hand side, the midfield player has the left foot and the left winger has the right foot. And obviously on the other side, the right midfield player has the right foot and the right winger has the left foot. And I do feel that type of balance is really important when it comes to playing those passes to each other's stronger feet. And I think this is the type of balance that Maresca wants to have in this team. So I don't know, with this type of lineup, I feel like we will definitely see this in the final third. Obviously, Mark Gu starting up front. Let's see if we sign a striker this window, but I do think that Gu has really impressed the squad. You can tell that he's really integrated in really quickly, and Maresca likes him as well. And it would be great if we can produce some moments for him to score against Man City. Because when you look at this kid physically, he don't look like an 18-year-old. He looks like he's 25. He looks like a physical freak. And I'm not going to lie, I do like what he's shown for us this preseason. In midfield, Lavia to continue. I do think maybe Caicedo will definitely play in the second half. I think that's the type of balance we'll see. But I do think Lavia is the brain and understands what Maresca wants the most, because he's worked for Maresca before and I've been impressed by what he's done playing that inverted role. Obviously in defense is a bit of a risk. Could Gusto be kept on the bench today because he pulled up with a slight not hamstring, a slight little like cramp in the previous game? Who knows, but I would really love to see Gusto continue to play the inverted left back role. I think he was so clear and I was loving those underlapping runs and overlaps he was allowed to make playing that inverted role. It's like it just added another edge to the team. And you know, I keep saying, man, having Gusto and Reece James in the same team together, I've always thought Gusto could do that Livramento thing of like playing left back. And listen, Club America aren't the best team in the world, but it was a promising performance showing the players' understanding and intent in the system, right? So hopefully that's the defense I see. And again, to end with things, Levi Colwill, Jorgensen and Wesley Fofana. I think Jorgensen will start. Let's see what he does with more minutes. But I think the defense of Colwill and Fofana, personally, I'm bagging a lot on them. I've got a lot of hope around them because on paper, this is our long-term defensive duo for the next at least 5 years, right? I think Levi Colwill has always been used as that wide left centre-back player. And I think in this system, he can continue to play that role, playing in defense, right? But and that would allow Wesley Fofana, of course, to play in the central of defense. Now, I know that Wesley hasn't necessarily been at his best, which is understandable. It's his first time kicking ball in like 1 year. He's gonna be rusty. He needs the patience. He needs the confidence. So, you know, I'm hoping these two play today. I think that's the reason why we saw Tosin, you know, and the other guys start the prior game against Club America. And I'm hoping to see Levi Colwill and Fofana, of course, play together and build their understanding before the season starts. So my friends, that is my predicted lineup for the game tonight. Share your thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about things? And to end things with the final story, we discuss everything surrounding Conor Gallagher, because we have seen more of a negative twist now around this story. Some could argue a realistic set of events now have happened, but equally at the same time, it is pretty disappointing all round. At the moment, we are learning that Conor Gallagher has been told he will be banished from first team duties if, in fact, he does decide to not accept Atletico Madrid's offer. Now, we have accepted a €40 million offer from Atleti, and Atleti are giving Gallagher until Monday to decide his future, with us having the possibility to earn guaranteed profit and a pure profit based on selling a Cobham grad. It seems like the club now are taking matters into their own hands, and they are basically forcing Gallagher to leave this football club. They're being aggressive now. They're saying, listen, you will not be leaving here on a free. We won't make those mistakes when Rudiger and Christensen were allowed to leave. Not when you were a Cobham guy too and you can give us pure profit. That won't be happening. So listen here, yeah? You have to go, accept Atleti, and if you don't, these are the punishments. This is what you are set to face. Now, it did come out from reporter Liam Toomey that the club have felt that the reason why they can't give Gallagher a long-term deal is based on the fact that they don't see him having a long-term impact in this team. They feel like, yes, he was dominant off the ball last season. He did have a good, strong season for us, but with Maresca's new positional style play and with other priorities ahead of him right now, the club feel like they can't make Gallagher the regular starter that he thinks he deserves to be, hence why 2 years plus a 1 year deal is the best that Conor is set to get. But it's not the first time we've seen the club use these types of tactics, right? Now, I'm going to say this example because contextually, this is the best example to use. No matter how people feel about him, but Mason Mount was also forced out of this football club. Listen, in my opinion, to this day, I will never understand why he just attracts so much like negative opinion. I think it's ridiculous. I think at the time the truth was coming out surrounding him leaving the football club, you know, the directors ignoring him, not offering him contract terms. And when they did, they offered him shorter deals for less money and undermined obviously what he was bringing to the club and the team. It's the same set of events that we're seeing now for Conor Gallagher and now for Trevor Chalobah. So I'm not really understanding the difference between them, and it's not the first time we've seen the club operate like this. And the reason why it leaves a bit of a sour taste is that it is that reminder, that disheartening reminder that even when you dedicate yourself to your work, when you rise to the challenges, when you excel, it can all be meaningless if those in power have already made their minds up about you. No matter what you do, no matter what efforts you show or improvements you make, if you're not wanted or rated, you're just not wanted and you're just not rated. I'm not too comfortable with a message like that, especially considering that Conor and a lot of the Cobham grads have had some of the most impactful moments for our seasons. They have stepped up when we need them, especially compared to a lot of the players that we've bought that haven't necessarily outperformed or out-excelled the players already at the club's disposal. We like to think that environments are pretty meritocratic where, listen, players can force themselves in contention if they perform, if they work hard, if they do all the things that we constantly make players have to rise up to. But when you even display all of that and even more and it's still not good enough, then it can be pretty disheartening, to be fair with you. And I don't know, I just think that with everything he did for us last season, the moments, the big games, the match winners, the goals, the assists, I just think that he's been done a little bit dirty, I have to say. And this notion that it seems that the directors are controlling his future, they feel like he isn't necessarily good enough for this positional style play. I mean, I don't know what data models they have or what analysis they turn to, but it's not like their opinions have been infallible. It's not like every decision they've made has been correct or has been right. To think that Conor would have no use under Maresca, knowing that Maresca wants us to go man to man in our pressing, knowing the fact that last flipping seasons, I keep stressing, and Diddy, who's never played further forward in his whole career, moved up from playing as a DM to playing as that defensive 8. That is literally Conor Gallagher's role tailor-made in the team, and it's to take him away from the squad. You do weaken the squad in general. There's nothing to say that Conor Gallagher could force himself into contention under Maresca. I mean, he's done that under so many managers already since he signed for us, and since he's come back on loan from Crystal Palace. Every single season there's been reports, every window actually, sell, 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 accepting this offer, accepting that offer, and the player has really backed his corner, believing in himself, and has actually become a better player for that. The fact that he's literally fought off every challenge that's come his way and excelled, and it's still not good enough, as I said, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in some of our mouths based on just like the, I guess, the morality of that in a way. Still, this whole episode surrounding Gallagher, it's a harsh reality of the game. I've always said, listen, there's more respectful ways to phase players out, yeah? I'm not saying that Conor has to be here for the next 10 years. Listen, if he excels, improves himself and becomes better, then of course his future then is undefined, right? But I think there was more respectful ways to do the phase out. And you might not like what I say, but when I look at how we've targeted a kid in Dewsbury Hall, where after one season banging it out in the championship, he's now found himself playing at our level. He fits a similar profile we've already produced or had in your Loftus-Cheeks, your Mounts, and even your Conor Gallaghers. I'm sorry, there was easily a future where you respect Gallagher for the season, the year he's had. You give him 4 years, maybe even 3 years plus 1 year. That gives more security to the player and gives more respect then. And then you test out to see what he does, because realistically, even if Conor hypothetically found himself as a squad player under Maresca for this season, I'm still sure if there was a way to then have to sell him and move him on, or if offers came in, you're probably going to get more than the 34 million you're set to sell him for, right? That way he's respected. That way you give yourself more time to wait for your Andre Santoses and others to develop as well. And finally, you keep the squad strong, because I'm sorry, a guy like Gallagher, even if he wasn't hypothetically first team, and there's nothing to say that he couldn't force himself to become a first team player, just the impact, bare minimum, you would get from him as that sub for the final half an hour, or in the big games, or in many moments, one of the fittest guys in our squad who played nearly every single week 90 minutes, who had leadership roles, who led by example, who did all of this. It just makes no sense to me that the footballing reasons, that will be diminished for money and finance and profit margins. It seems like this whole thing's come down to contract length, not even the wages on offer. But I can see from Conor's angle inside why there would be offense at the way things have been conducted, because you think to yourself, listen, I've been at this football club since I was a wee little boy here, since I was a kid. I've been here for nearly 20 years of my life. You man have been at this club for 2 years. You don't know our history. You don't know anything about what's happened here. And who are you to make all these executive decisions and just literally diminish everything that came before you? It's not going to sit right at all to most people, to be fair with you. I mean, the dedication, the professionalism, you know, the reliability, the consistency in his game, and then this is the best he can get after all of this. Now, I think that's a bit of a madness, to be fair with you, and I wonder how players behind the scenes really feel about things. So let's see how things go. If he decided, you know what, screw these guys, I'm going to remain here, I don't care, and I'm going to wait for better opportunities and earn more money, being a free agent, I won't hold that against him. Do I think he'll do that though? Probably not, because I think this guy is a professional football player who wouldn't want to waste 1 year of his career, especially after how his last season went. If you guys from Atleti, Champions League football, Simeone, I think there's more to Gallagher. I think there's a lot more improvements to come. I think people keep sleeping on the fact that for 2 years now, there's just been improvement after improvement. And I think at Atleti, working under Simeone, he could become one of the top box-to-box midfield players. You know, all action, gun busting, you know, long range blasting midfield players in Europe. So listen, I think there's still an amazing opportunity there for him, and let's see how things play out. So my friends, that is everything I want to discuss today. Share your thoughts and opinions, and on that note, I'm the EFC, this is BlueLionsTV. See you all tonight.